Okay, can see my screen. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, can see my screen. Okay, I'm so excited seeing everybody here. Welcome to LaTeX Open Development course. I will start by introducing myself. My name is Kenny Legwine. I have over it's a great opportunity having you guys on board. As you can see, I've freelanced for several companies across the globe, and these are a few that I can mention for now. So this, as you can see, I've freelanced for Busy Expand, We Love No Code, and currently LaTeX. So imagine having a tutor like me, which has not only walked through this path, just like you are about to do now, but has also helped hundreds of students cross the finish line. So I'm not, if you can see, We Love No Code. This is a foreign company located in the US. So I'm not only locally recognized, I'm also globally trusted. And down here, you can see the tools I'm working with. I'm working with Bubble.io, Flutterflow, JavaScript, and that. And these are not just buzzwords. These are my playground. These are the tools that I use almost every day. And on my right-hand side, please, if you see me debating between Ronaldo and Messi, don't be surprised because I'm a football fan. How many of us are football fans here, please? How many of us? If you know you love football, can just indicate. Hello. Hello.
I don't.
Can you all hear?
Yeah, we are.
Yes, sir. We are indicating.
Yes, we can hear you.
How many of us are football fans here? If you know
I
you
am
love football,
one.
you can just.
I am one. I'm a Madrid fan.
Yeah, Madrid fan. Okay. Who
Yes.
else? Who else?
I'm a Madrid fan too.
Okay. Okay, no problem. I am an Arsenal fan. Though even if I'm not won a major trophy for the past 20 years, I'm still part of my club. I'm still proud of that. So I'm a football fan and I love watching movies. And the latest movie I watched is called The Gorge, and that was yesterday. So that's a little bit about me. Software engineering. I think we should know what a little bit of the things we are supposed to know before we start dealing with no code. But I think it's better we know the basics of software engineering, software development. So we're discussing about software engineering, types of software developer, different approaches to software development, tools, and technology developer uses. Then not talk about Bubble.io because that's the main thing. That's the reason why we are here. Then we talk about tools to download. Then after that, we'll do a live demo to show how we can develop good applications with and Bubble. Okay. So software engineering is the application of engineering principles to development of software. Now, this encompasses a range of activities, including requirement analysis, software design, coding, maintenance, testing, and lots of other things. Now, this is done by people with specific roles. And the roles are mentioned here. You can see the product owner, and this defines the product vision and ensures it's aligned with business goals. We can talk about the business analyst, team lead, UI, US designers. Now, this UI, US designers is the person that designed the prototype and gives it to the developer to develop. So we have the DevOps engineers, we have the project manager, we have software developer, and we have the QA engineers. So these are some of the roles that are involved in software engineering. So it's very important to know some of these things. What we'll be diving into is this guy here, software developer. And this guy is the person that writes, tests, and maintains codes. Okay. Now, what are the types of software developer? So there are three types. We have the front-end developer. Now, this developer is the one that develops the front end. Okay, let me show you an example. Like if you look at this LinkedIn page now, is a front-end developer that takes care of this page, the call to actions, these buttons, this hover effect when you hover on this button. So the front-end developer takes care of this part, the design. He's going to take care of this part. And the back-end developer develops codes that you can't see physically, but these codes are located on the server at the back end. What it does is to connect to the database and sends in information from the database back to the front-end guy for the front-end guy to make use of it. Then we'll now have what we call the full-stack developer. This guy handles the front end and also handles the back end. He develops codes for the front end and also develops codes for the back end server. So that's it. Now, we have different approaches to software development. Like the first approach is the traditional coding, and this one is the one that will be existing now and is still existing at the moment. This is the traditional coding. This is where the software is being developed using what codes. So while the second approach is low or no code development. This approach is being done just like WordPress. Who know what to call WordPress? Who have heard about WordPress?
Yeah, I've heard of WordPress.
Okay, I've heard about WordPress. So now that approach is what we call the low code development. So that's it. But it depends on the kind of application. Okay.
Sir, if I'm not mistaken, is it the WordPress that is used for website designing?
Yes, you can use WordPress for website design. You can use that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Now, let's look at the tools and technology developer uses. Now, we have four main tools. You have the languages. Now, these are the language that a developer uses. We have JavaScript, Python, C#, Java, and these are the codes that the developer uses to build applications. Let me show you my VS Code so you understand what I mean. Give me a moment, please, while it's loading. Let me show you a sample of the languages. Sorry. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is this is a React framework. Like some of us that are conversant with this. This is a React, a Nest.js framework. And the language that's being used there is what JavaScript. Sorry, TypeScript. Yeah, it's TypeScript. So this is how the codes look like. So this is it. We have other ones like Python, C#, Java. We have more than 500 languages, but we have the major ones. So I just listed few. You can wake up tomorrow and you will hear that I've invented another language. So that's it. And the second thing is frameworks. Now, these frameworks are pre-built structures, libraries, tools, and convention that provides a foundation for you to build your applications. Understand? Like this helps to guide you in building your applications. We have frameworks like Django, Node.js, Angular, and one of the frameworks I just showed you is this one. And this, like I said, the framework that is here is Nest.js. So that's it. We have database. Now this is where your information is being stored. The user's profile pic, name, and so on. So they are being stored in what we call the database. Now, some of the database are called MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, Firebase, and there are lots of databases on this planet. And we have the editors. Now, this one is what we call the playground that the developer uses. You have what we call the Visual Studio and the VSC. Now, the VSC, which is the Visual Studio Code, is what I showed you earlier, which is this. Now, this is VSC, and it's called the Visual Studio Code. And this is what like the editor that a developer uses to write codes and develop applications. Okay, let me come back. Sorry. Okay, now let's go into Bubble. Now, Bubble is just like the WordPress we all know. We have other no-code platform. We have Bubble, we have N8N, we have, so there are lots more. But what we are focusing on today is just Bubble. And Bubble is a powerful no-code platform that allows users to design, develop, and deploy web applications without writing any code. Without writing any code, you can develop useful applications depending on the kind of and the complexity of the workflow. If it's the one that will require you to write a little bit of JavaScript, you can do that. But you can develop an application without writing a single code. Now the features it provides is helps you with drag and drop interface. Now and gives you an automation workflow, database management, responsive design, and plugins and integrations. You can also do that on Bubble. You can, there's for collaboration too, it's very easy for you to collaborate with other developers. Maybe you have some developers focusing on the other part of the application. The collaboration is very easy and it's very, very scalable. Bubble is very scalable too. So let's get to the next slide. And these are some of the tools that we will need. Though after now, I will drop it on the WhatsApp platform. Like I said, like what I showed you earlier, the Visual Studio Code. Now this is what we are going to need. Don't be afraid. You're not going to be writing to those. I know some of us came here without the idea of, without the imagination of writing code. But it's that before we start with Bubble, we need to know the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we can't do that without what Visual Studio Code, which is the one I showed you earlier. This editor, yeah, we need to download this. Though I will send the raw file to the WhatsApp group, and also for the resources, we're going to be taking some resources from W3 schools. Now, this W3 schools, let me show you. Just give me a moment. Let me go to, sorry, W3 schools. I hope we all are following. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Follow you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you,
We
sir.
can follow you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you. And so we'll be very glad if the recorded version
Hello.
of this can be also sent across after the training, sir.
Okay, man. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 Just give me a moment. I think this is just kind of slow. Let me open this. W3 schools. And my network is kind
Hello,
of
Mr.
slow. I don't know
Aki.
why.
Your hands has been up for a while now. Any question?
Sorry?
One of us, Mr. Aki, his hands has been raised for a while now. I don't think if he has a question. Mr. Akimoyero.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Oh, I have no question again.
Okay, Aribuki, your hands is up.
Yeah, to have the framework. It talks about the framework. I don't actually really understand
So this,
about. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can help.
Can you hear me?
this is what I call
We
the
can hear
Oh,
you,
definition. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, what I'm saying
Sorry.
is that you talked about framework. I don't really like. I don't grab what you're trying to explain about that framework. I want to ask: is it a template? Because you said that it allows us to like. There's a like a design this that will guide us. I want to ask: is it like a template that you can just remove, edit? Mhm.
Aribuki, I think his network is giving him issues.
It's giving me issues too.
So I think we need to. Okay, before we go into the live demo, is there any question that we need to ask?
Yes, I have a
Any
question.
questions? Okay.
I have a question, please.
Okay, please.
Okay, you talk
You can
about
ask.
framework. I actually want to ask about
Yeah.
because it's not part of the languages you listed there, but you actually mentioned it later on. So it's about framework now. That framework, you said it's like a. I want to ask, is it like a template? Because you said it's organized and it's going to guide us on what to do. And I want to ask, is
So
it like a
come in. Please, can you come in? I can't hear you. It's like what?
is it like a template that you can the
And
framework?
you can imagine it as something like that. It's kind of a foundation where you don't need to reinvent the wheel again. It's just like a foundation for to start building applications. Start with.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Mm.
Okay. Let's go to what we have next. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me open my Sigma file because that's where we're developing our mini application for today. Now this will now give us will show us kind of what we are about to do. It's like a listen is a design template. First of all, let me go and open my my bubble account here. Just give me a moment. My network is kind of slow. I don't know, maybe it's because of the Google Meet. So just give me a moment and let's allow it to load, please. Okay. Now this is bubble.io. You can decide to log in into bubble.io. Then if you have not registered, you can register maybe after now, but registration is not necessary for now. You just for it, you just know how it works. So these are some of the applications. Let me start by creating a new project. So for you to create a new project, you can come to this button. Either you create with an AI or you create from scratch on your own. So let's click this button. And you can give the project any name. Let's say Masterclass. Since this is the Masterclass. Now, is it a web application or a mobile application? So what we are going to be doing is a web app. So let's click this. When we are not creating it with AI, instead let's create a blank app. And start. So let's start with basic features. So after clicking that button, it will take us to the editor, to the bubble editor. And this editor is where we develop our applications. Let me come over to the Figma file and see whether it has finished loading. Oh, it's still loading. Let's give it some time. Okay. I think it's coming up now. Please bear with me.
No problem.
Okay. Can you see the editor now?
Yes, sir. We can see this editor.
Yes, we can see the editor.
So this is how bubble editor looks like. This is where we perform the miracle. This is where we turn water into wine. As you can see, we have the index page. When you create a project, the first page you take it to is the index page. That index page is what we call the first page of the applications. So this is the index page, and on my left hand side you can see some features and tools. Now, if you come over here, you will see. Okay, let me go up. You see the UI builder and the responsive part. Now, this responsive part, let's forget about this one for now. This is not what to have for now. Let's forget about that one for now. Let's just focus on how to use this to develop applications. Now, you can see the visual effects. Now, under the visual effects, we have some elements. You have text input, you have buttons where you can drag and drop. On this page, we have icon, we have link, we have image, and we also have other elements. Now, for it, if you want to select any element, you have to drag and drop, just like what I did. I drag this button I kept here, and if you want to drag this icon, and do that by clicking and dragging and placing it on this editor, on this canvas, sorry. So we have the workflow, which is this. Now, this is where we develop our workflow for the applications. And here is the back end. Like I told you for the earlier, we have front end dev, we have back end dev. So Bubble is a local platform that you can use to build a front end application, also a back end application. So it's both sides. So we have the back end workflows. And this workflow for the back end, we have the database. Now, this is where we structure our database and other things. And this here is for styling. But let's not go into all this. It doesn't matter for now. Let's just focus on how to design with Bubble. Let me go over to my Figma for okay. Thank God that's open. So this is what we are going to be developing on this live demo. Just a single page and nothing more. This is our landing page. Okay. We have the header and the body, then we now have the footer. These are the three main parts. So let's start by creating the header for now. Let me delete these buttons and these icons. Now this is the Canva. This is where we design. This empty space, this white space here. This is where we design. And now, for we to preview this page, now we have to click on this button here. Yeah, you can see the preview button. Once you click there, to show you the preview of what the application that you're designing. If I drag any button and keep here and place here and then go back and refresh, you see the updated version of what the application. So let's delete this. First of all, what to have in mind is what to design the header, which is this thing we are seeing here. And first of all, let's calculate the width of this header. The width here is, we have the width is 1440, sorry, and the height is 84. So how do we do that? Let's go over here. Then go down to what containers. Now, as you can see, this is like a group, it's grouping a lot of elements here. So what we have to do is to look for what a container that will contain all those elements inside. So we'll come over to our group, click it and place it here. Now this is it. And the height on the Figma file. So the Figma, this is what we call this Figma. Like I said earlier, this is the Figma. This is what the UI UX use in designing prototype for the developer. So the height and width here is 1440 and 84. So let's give it a height. Let's give the width, sorry, 144, then 84. Okay. Let's remove the index from what fixed to what column. Then come back here and make this what central. Sorry. Okay, Mr. Let's do min width and maximum width. So, though we can't see anything yet, but let's try to change the color of this. Once you do that, you can see that it will change. Let's give it a flat color and let's say red. Then come over to the preview and see the changes that have been made there. Now this is the header. We got it now. So, okay, so let's start by what? Now this images, let's collect this icon, this image. And this is a logo, right? So let's download that from the Figma file. Let me export that. Increase resolution. Export it. Okay, it's been exported right now. So for you to add that logo, let's look for an image element, which is this, and place it here. Now let's upload what we just exported, which is this logo, right?
Mr. Kinule, Aribuke has a question.
Okay, yeah.
Aribuke has a question.
Okay.
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 I'm not seeing the color icon here, but I don't know how you color the page.
Okay. I mean, how I color the header.
Yes, the header.
Okay. How I color the header, I went to the header. Okay, let me change this group. Let me rename this group to what? Group header. Let me rename it to group header. Now, after renaming it to group header, I came over here to the background style. It was none before, so I removed it from none and changed it to flat color. Then give it the color of red. You now understand? Do you now understand?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not saying the background that you said that you click on that is none.
Sorry?
I'm not.
Sorry?
You click on back. Is it background? And you said it's written none there, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, I said it was none before. It was none before. The background style was none. That is the
Okay.
default styling. So I changed it from none to what flat color, and I give it a color of red.
Okay.
Are you there with me?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that was what I did. Okay, so for this image, I dragged an image element from the visual element here and placed it here. Then uploaded what I exported from the Figma file and placed it here, which is this. Now, if you go over to the Figma file, you can see that you can see the height and width of this logo, and the height and width of that logo is 154 and 24. 154 by 24. So let's go and change the height and width of this image here. Then come over here. Let's remove this 154 and 24. Okay, so you can see this is the image now. And let's put it. Now let's center this image. Now for you to center the image, once you click on this image and go over to layout, we can't center it vertically. We can only center it horizontally. Now for we to do that, you have to go over to the parents. Now what I mean by parent element is the element that this current image is in. Now you can see that this image is inside what group header. If you come over here to the, now we call this element tree. Now this element tree shows the hierarchy of elements placed on your page, on your current page. Now this is the hierarchy of all the elements. Now we have the index, and this index, which is the first, the main page, the page of this application. And inside this index, we have what elements inside it, and the first element is what this group header. Now if you click over here, you can see an arrow indicating that there's an element inside that group. Once you click on it, you now see that.
I can't see your stream anymore, sir.
Sorry?
I can't see your stream anymore, sir. It's not been longer being shared, your stream, sir.
Who else cannot see my screen here, please?
We can see your screen.
You can see my screen. I'm the only one that's not see my screen.
I can't see from my very end, yes, sir.
I think it should be from a network.
Mr. Fabulous, I guess if you're not still seeing the screen, check on your icon above or below your laptop. And if you've done that, and if you're not still seeing the screen, you can go out and come in again.
Okay. So for you to place this image, for you to center it vertically, you have to come over to the parent element. And there's what we call container alignment. Now this helps us to align the children of this current element, which is this group header. It helps us to align the children of these elements, these container alignments. Now right here you can see the top aligned. If you go next, you see the centered and bottom aligned. And if you go further, you see space around. Then the next one is space between. But we want the image to be what centered. So once you click on this centered, you see that the image has gone to the what? To the center vertically. Now the next thing we're going to do is to bring in our text, which is this. Come over here and click on what? Text. Now we have home, service, feature, product, testimony, and FAQ on the Figma file. We have like, 6 menus there. We have 6 menus. So let's come over here. Now for you to edit that text, we have to go over to the what? Properties window. Now this is what we call the properties window. Sorry, I forgot to tell you what this means. This is what we call the properties window. This is where you will see the properties of each element on your page. Now, for you to change the text on this end, test element. We have to come over here and click on this editor, this text editor. Click here and change it. What? Let's change to home. As you can see, that we changed to home. So let's do that and what? Let's duplicate this one now. Sorry, I might not give you full details, but this is just a master class. So I won't. If you are expecting to for me, if you are expecting me to give you more details, you have to come to the boot camp. For now, just a live demo to show how you can develop applications with Bubble. So let's do. We have duplicated this one and this text. Let's change this one to what? We have service. We have feature. So the next one is what? Service. Service. And the next one is what? Feature. And the next one is going to be products. And the next one is testimony and FAQs. Testimony. FAQ. So now, this is not how it's supposed to be on this page, which you see on this Figma file. Now, this Figma file, you can see that these elements here are what? These texts are grouped on a row. So what we are going to do now is to group these 6 menu, group them horizontally. Now, what we're going to do is to what? Highlight them, each of them, then group them. There's what? If you come over here, you right click and come over here, you see group element in what? In fixed container, row container, column container, align to parent container. But what we are looking for is the row container, which is this row container. And once that is done, you can see that they are now groups. And now you can see that if you come over to the element tree, you can see that they are now grouped in what we call group B. So let's change that to menu. Group menu. Okay. So let's give it an alignment. Let's space them. Let's say space between. Right. There's not space between them. So let's go over to the Figma file and see the width of this container. And the width is 588. Let's come over here and add the width to it, 588. Let's adjust the height of this. Let's bring the height of this container. Okay. So now, what we are going to do next is this login and sign up buttons. So now let's bring in our buttons. 1 and 2. So let's change this label to what? To login. Sorry. And let's change this one to the sign up. And what we're going to do next is what? To group. Let's see. Consider these buttons now, they have equal width and equal height. I think so. Let's see, the width of this is 77. Okay, different widths. But let's see the padding. The padding is 20 times, sorry. So, okay, let me first of all group these 2 buttons right here. Let's group them in a row container. Sorry, I have to be fast because this is masterclass. You don't expect much from this masterclass. Now, So if you have not booked them, let's take it down. Let's take it down. Let's make it last. So that's gone to the bottom. And now, if you look at the group header, the layout is column. So let's make it row. Just like the way it is on the Figma file. Come over and change it to row. As you can see now, this is how it looks like. And let the content alignment be what space between. Once that is done, let's come here and change this to let's center it vertically and center this one vertical also. Center this one vertical. So this button here is what? White. Sorry. White. And this background here is what? Green. Okay. I think that is done. So let's remove the background from this color. Let's change it from this color. And the background is let's make it normal. So this is it. Let's come over here and preview and see how it looks like now. Can you see now? Can you see the preview?
Yes, we can see the preview.
You can see how fast it is to edit this with no code. So let's look at the next item. The next item here is this image. Look for it. I think it's being grouped here. Sorry. Next one. Okay. This is what I'm looking for. Let me extract this image from here. Come over here. Extract it. Let me export it, sorry. Let's wait for it to be exported. I think it's taking time, but as we're waiting, let's do this one. We have lessons and insight from what? From 8 years. Let me copy this. So, as you can see, we have, looking at this, you can see that this container here is what? Horizontally aligned. One on the left and one on the right. So let's bring a container here. And place it here. And this container's width is what? The width and height is 14, okay. 599. That's the height. The height here is 599. 599. Let's center it. Let's bring a text, which is this. Okay, lessons and insight from what? From 8 years. Okay, I'm looking for the font size. The font size of these text elements. Okay, since I can't get the font size, let's create our own font size. Let's give it a font size. Let's say header 14. I think this one's, I think it's delete. Let's Okay, I think this is okay. So now let's change. We can see that this from the 8 years, have a different color from lessons and insights. So let's change that color of that. Let's come over here. Let's click on this rich text editor. Now, once you click on it, you see that a window will appear. And what you have to do is to highlight this from 8 years and come over to its color. When you click on its color, let's give it a different color, which is this. Then once that is done, as you can see, the color has changed. Let's save it. So this is how it is now. Let's come over here. The next one is where to grow your business. Copy that. Let me copy this and paste it here. Okay. The next one is the register button. Let me copy this button and paste it here. Register button, please. Okay. So you can see there's another container here, which is this. And the width and height of that container is 657 and 247. So let's do this. Let's highlight all of them and put them in a container. In a what? It should be a column container. Let's do that. Okay, that is being done. And the width and height is what? 657. The width is 657. Why the height is 276. Okay. Sorry. Let's give it a spacing. 20. Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. Can you please just pause for like 5 minutes?
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Okay. How are you enjoying the class so far? Hello, everybody. Can you please answer me? How are you enjoying the class so
Ma'am, it
far?
has been really educative and interacting. But I have a passionate appeal if a recorded version of this can be sent, because some of us due to the network
Yes, the
glitches.
recorded version of this will be sent. Remember, this is just a masterclass. It's just a brief intro into what
Okay.
you'll be getting when you enroll for the class. So this is just a brief intro into what you'll be getting. This is not everything. When the class starts, you're all going to start from the beginning, the very, very beginning. Like Mr. Kenule said, this is a demo. I'm using bubble.io. So you may not really get 100% of what is now saying. But when you enroll for the class, everything will be taught step by step, and you're going to get a clearer view of what he's saying. Our boot camp will be starting next week. That is August 2nd. It runs for 8 weeks, and unfortunately for us, we have just 20 spots left. And this, after the boot camp, we have an internship likely to be paid. You may not do the internship with LaTeX. You may do it with our sister company in North America. It may also be with LaTeX or anyone. So it's a first come, first serve offer. So after the 8 weeks camp, we also have, like I said, the internship, which is likely paid, and also is a first come, first serve. The amount for the boot camp is 150,000, but we slash it down to 50,000 naira only, just 50,000 naira, since we are doing a welcome package to everyone. So, like I said, please take advantage of this opportunity. We've slashed our price to 50,000 naira. You can visit our website, latetech.io, for more information. You can, those of us on the group, I think all of us here are in the group, right?
Yes, I'm in the group.
Hello? Hello, everyone.
Yes, I'm in the group.
Yes, I'm in
So
the
you
group.
can DM me, or you can paste your questions or observations on the group. You can DM me personally for any inquiry about the boot camp. Like I said, the boot camp starts next week, Saturday, that is August 2nd. Please remember, there's a limited spot that is left. Limited spots that is left. It's a first come, first serve situation. There's also an internship that will be ready after the class is over. All right. So I will send you back to Mr. Kinole. There's information I have for everyone. So and yes, the recording will be posted on the group. So Mr. Kinole, please.
Okay. No problem. Thank you very much. So let's go back to okay, let me share my screen. Sorry. I forgot that I'm not sharing my screen. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, sir, we can see the screen, sir.
Yes, we can see the screen.
Okay. So you have exported this image. So what I'm going to do now is to place it on the editor, on the Google editor. So that's going to be okay. Sorry, okay. So to upload the image, you click on the image element, which is this. Like this illustration. Then select the image you're looking for. Then allow it to upload. Okay, that's finished uploading. Look for the height and width of the image. The height and width of the image is this. The width is 391 and the height is 407. So let's go back to our bubble. 391. 407. Okay. Now, as you can see that this alignment here is column alignment. So let's go over to the parents, which is this group E. Okay, sorry, group D. And once you click on this group D, you now see the parents highlighted. So what we're going to do is to change this alignment from what column alignment to what to row. Once that is done, you can see that it has changed. And after doing that, let's center align this group vertically. Now, for we to do that, you have to click on the group and come over here, which is this. center it vertically, and also this image here, center it vertically. So that one has been taken care of. So let's go over to the Figma file and see how it looks like. So there's a space between these elements, this group and the image. As you can see, there's a space between them. Now the space between this group and this image is what? 104. Highlighted in red. Can you see that? 104.
That's our concern.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, let's look at the width and height of this group. The width and height of this group, this particular group is 657. Okay, let's do that. Okay. 657. For now, let's look at how it looks. Refresh arm. Okay. As you can see, it's looking at it. So let's come over here and look at this again. So what we are going to do next is what to center the elements, which is this. This container alignment. We have to what center it because the two elements are not going over to the what to the left hand side. So what we are going to do is what to make it center aligned. Click this. Once that is done, then we have to go back and see how it looks like. Okay. Can you now see? So let's go over to the Figma file. Now, if you look at the header, you can see that there's a gap between this edge and this one here over here. Let's click on the logo. Now the gap between the logo and the 105, and it should be the same thing here. Okay, here is 120, but let's make it equal on both ends. Let's make it equal on both ends. So let's come over here and let's put padding. Padding left and padding right. 105, 105. Okay, let's look at the review again. Okay, so that's it. I think it's better this way. And let's come over here. Let's change this from what center. Let's say space between. And then we should add padding. Once we put space between, let's look at how it looks like on the preview. Okay, this is space between. So I think it's better we have the padding. Let's add padding right and padding left. And go back to our preview and see the changes made. So this is it now. Okay. I think this should be aligned together. The edge of this logo and what lessons and insights from 80s. So let's come over here and see how we are going to do that. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So what I did now is to make it center, the container alignment. I put it back towards center alignment. Though the space between was not giving me what I wanted, so I brought it back towards center alignment. Once I click on this button, it came. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. What to have, and the next one is though this element is kind of bigger. This test here is kind of bigger, so let's increase it a little bit. Let's increase it a little bit. Okay, I think it's okay like this. Better. So what we have next is what? Our clients. This is another word container here. So I'm trying to get the width and height of this. Let me click this. Okay. Now let's create this container, our clients. Come over to the editor. Drag a container from here and paste it here. Once that is done, let's look at the height again. The height is what? 190 and the width is 144. So let's say 190. 190. So let's look for an image. Okay, before we look for an image, let's do this. Bring this test. Bring it here. And our clients. Let's change that to our clients. The next one is this little text here. Copy that. Change that, please. Okay. So let's make this one center and also this one. Okay. This one's kind of bigger. So let's increase it to, let me say 20 before thereabouts. Then change the color to another color. The color here is kind of graded. Not that black. Yeah, I think it's better now. Okay. So the next one is this images. And if you look at the alignment, it's what? Horizontally aligned. So let's look at how we can extract these files. Though I'll only extract only one, I won't extract the rest, and I'll duplicate only this one. But because of what time, we need to be fast. So what we're going to do next is to bring this image element here, place it here. Then upload the image we extracted, which is what logo, which is that logo. And this is the image. So the width and height of that image we exported is this 40-40. So that's the dimension. So let's change the dimension to 40-40. And duplicate that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me come back. Let me put all these images in a row container. Okay. Then duplicate the image inside. I think we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have seven of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And what we are going to do next is to go over to the parent container of the images, and which this will be. Then do what we call space around. So once that is done, let's come over to this one and see the width of this current container. The width of this current container is what? The container containing those elements. And the width is 1152. Let's change that to this 1152. Okay. Let's look at the preview once again. Okay, this is a preview. Not making sense here. So let's go back and what? Now let's come over here to the main container, which is this one. Let's change this to what? Let's name this to what? Group clients. I hope you're all following. Are you all following?
Yes, sir. We are following, sir.
Okay. So let's
Some are lost.
Sir,
sorry.
I'm lost too.
Some of us are lost.
Where are you lost? Where are you lost? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Where I'm lost is when you want to import the picture, how do you get
Yeah.
the picture into the editor, into the canvas?
Okay. Though I won't give you. Okay, let me show you how you can get this image from the editor from the Figma file. What I did was to click on this image here, and this is a part of what I will teach you on the bootcamp. But I'm not giving you details of everything that I'm doing here. So what you have to do is to go over to the image here, select the image, which is this logo here. As you can see, once you select that image, this logo, you can see that everything here is being highlighted. So once that is done, come scroll down here to what you will see what we call exports. So once you click on that exports, you will now go down, increase the resolution to 4x, then click on exports. The image will be exported. Are you clear on that?
Okay, yeah. What I'm saying is importing it into the bubble.iq.
Okay, importing. Okay, so like I said, to import the image, you have to look for image elements. And for you to get that image element, you have to go to the left-hand side of this editor. And under visual element, which is this. Click on the visual elements. You see, look for image, which is this. Click on the image and what? Paste it here. Now, the element will appear. So let me increase the height of my index so they can be able to see. I think let's me see 1000. This is better like this. Okay. Now this is the image we are bringing on board. This is the image element, and the image element currently is empty. We have not uploaded any image on it here. So what you have to do is to what? Come over to this place, to the property editor, and click on upload. Are you following? Click on upload.
Okay. Now,
Once that is done, you now select the image that you exported. Click on it. It will be what? Uploaded immediately. So this is this. So let me delete that. So let's come over here, over to this group clients, which is the main group for this client we're seeing here. And the parent group is what the group clients. Let's do something. Let's kind of give them space. Now, as you can see that there are children inside it. You have this word. We have the first child, which is this. The second child, which is this. And the third child, which is this group. Grouping this element. So like, as you can see, there's no space between them. If you go over to the preview, no space between them. But on the Figma file, there's space between our clients. We have been working with some fortunes and also these images here. So there's space between them. So let's go over to the editor and what? Give them spacing. Now, for we to do that, you have to go over to the parents container, which is this group client. And now you will see what we call apply gap spacing between elements. Check this and what? Apply the gap spacing. Let's say 10. Let's add more space. Let's say 15. As you can see. So you can see the spacing between them. Now, this group here, let's refresh and see how it looks like. This group here, this particular group, is going to the left-hand side. So let's center it. Now, for we to do that, you have to click on this group here. Once you click on the group, come over to what we call layouts tab. Now, once you come over to the layer tab, you will now see horizontal alignments, which is this. Now, this horizontal alignment is what is for you to align the parents, align the current element itself. But if you want to align the children, you have to come over to what we call the container alignment, which is this. Where you can take them to the right, center. Sorry, where you can take them to the left, center, right, or space around, then space between. But we're not aligning the children. What we want to align now is the container itself, which is what this one holding these elements, all these images. Now, for we to do that, we have to come over to what? We have to come down to horizontal alignment and what? Click on what? Centered. Now it's not being centered. Though you won't see the effects here on the editor, but you can see the effects on what? The preview. Are you not seeing it? So there's space in between them. So what we are going to do now is what? Let's add some padding to make it beautiful. Let's say 15, sorry, 15, 15. I think it's okay now. Then let's preview it and see. Okay. So I think it's better this way. But if you notice very well, I'm not doing exactly how it is on the Figma file. Though we are supposed to do exactly how it is on the Figma file because this is just a live demo. So because of there's no time, I have to rush. But on the bootcamp, I'll take my time and show you everything, every details. We'll go through every details of it. So let's go to the next one. I think after one or two, we'll stop here. We won't go beyond this because of time. So let's finish this one and see how it looks like. So the next one is manage your entire community in a single system. So let's copy this test. Head back to our bubble editor. Now, this container has two children in it. The first one and what? And the second one, this container. So let's look for what? Let's look for a text. Change this to that. Let's say, okay. Let's center this. Then come over here and what? Center it. Let's increase the what? The width, the font size. I think the font size, let's increase it to this. So let's say, okay, let's say 24. I think it's better this way, 24. Okay. So let's copy this text and let's see it here. So let's copy this. Come over here. So this is it now. Now, let's group these two elements. This one and this one. So highlight those two elements and right click on it. Then come over and say group element in what? In the container. So once that is done, you'll now see the difference. Let's give it a spacing. Let's say 10. Okay. So let's preview it and see. Let's look at the preview. Now this is the preview. And let's do the next one, which is this one. I hope we are all following. Are you all following?
We have a chooser.
Okay. So let's come over here and let's do this. Let's copy this icon. Let's export this icon. Sorry. Okay, let's export that icon. Let's click this one. Increase the resolution. Then export. It's been exported right now. So let's copy this text here. Okay. First of all, let's add a group. Let's add a group. Okay, sorry. The group went to the top. I think, let me just delete it. And delete it. Why is this thing going up? Let me add a group first. I just added a group, but the group went up. So now what we have to do next is what, to bring it down. Let's make this group last. This is the group we just added now. So let's make it last. And make this group last. Let's click here. Last. It will not go down. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to add a text. But let's copy a text from the page. Let's copy this. Sorry. Let's copy this. Then come over to this group and paste it here. Now, the next thing is what? This one. Let's also duplicate this one and paste this one here. Then change the text to this, to what we copied from that Figma file. And remember, we exported an image from the Figma file. So what we are going to do next is to add that particular image we exported. So let's look for image elements and place it here. So I think it's icon. Yes, icon. Okay, this was that's the icon we exported from the Figma file, and the icon, the width and height of that icon is 48. That is the dimension. So let's come over to the layout of this image. Now the layout of that image, if you go over to the width, let's change it to 48 and hold 48. So once that is done, now what I'm going to do next, as you can see that this image is between this text and this text. So let's bring it to the top. And what you have to do is to click on this image and go over to the property editor and make it first. It will not go over to the top. Then center it. Once that's done, let's look for the width and height of this container containing these three elements. The width is 299 and the height is 260. 299, height is 260. And let's say space between. And the padding, let's say padding is 32. Okay. 32, 24. Let's say this 24. Okay. Okay. Let's make this bigger. Let's copy this text. Copy this now. Place it here. Okay, now that's changed. Let's choose a font size of 24 and make it bold. let's say 700 board. I think so. I think this is better. And now, what you have to do is to duplicate this thing that we did here. This, I'll call it a card. So let's say group card. Let's change it to group card. Okay, let's duplicate that group card. This and this. Now we have now duplicated it into 3 items. Now what you have to do next is what to group these 3 cards. Let's group them. Sorry. And what? Group them in a row container. Now we have done that. And let's what? Let's look at the layers. First of all, before we look at the layout, let's look at the preview. Let's look at how it will look like on the preview mode. Now, this is how it looks like on the preview mode, but it's not going to the what? To the left-hand side. And that's not what we want. So what we have to do now is to what? Let's change this to what? Card wrapper. Sorry, card wrapper. This is a group that's wrapping the 3 cards. Yeah. If you click on this element now, you will now see the 3 cards. Group card, the second one, and what? The third one. So let's come over here and what? Let's center them. Okay, let's say space. I think from the female file, you should go space. Let's say space around. I think that should be better. Let's say space around. Let's say how it looks like. Okay. Space around. And let's look at the main group wrapping these cards. Now the main group, which is this, you can see that the width is 1440, but the padding is what? 114. Sorry, 144. 144. Let me confirm that. Okay, 144. Let's go back to the editor and say 144. 144. 144. And go back and see how it will look like. Okay. It's better this way now. So let's do the next one. I think after doing this, we are going to stop here for today. Then if you want to know more, you have to come over to the bootcamp. Let's finish with this. So how to export this element? Let's click on this element on the Figma file. Look for the elements here. It should be this. No, this. Okay. Then come over to exports. Increase this resolution and what? Export this file. Are you sorry? It came in as a zip file. Wonderful. Okay. Let me unzip it and see how it looks like. Okay. So let's go back to the editor. Let's look for an image element and place it there. Okay, we went to the top. So let's make it last. Let's bring it down, make it last. To go down now and look for the image we exported, which is this. Inside mobile document, Rafiki. Okay. Now the height and width of that image is 4, width is 441, and the height is 328. Let's do something. 441 and what? 328. Okay. So now what we are going to do next is this element here. I think we have done something similar like this. Let's go to the top. Let's copy this group here. Let's copy it and paste it because I don't want to start doing it from scratch. Let me paste it here. Okay, we have done that now. And now, since we have done that, what we're going to do next is what group these two elements together. Group this one and also this image. And what group we should group them in what in a row container. Now, once you have done that, let me copy this text and paste it here. So okay, copy this one also. Do this and paste this one here. And change this text on this button. So let's look at how the preview looks like. Let me refresh the page. Okay. Oh, it's going to the left-hand side. So let's make it center. Right. So let's look at the parents group, which is this. Come over to the layouts and look for center line. Click on this, then go back to the preview. And if you go back to the preview, it's not looking better. It's not looking better. So let's increase your margin a little bit. Let's say 20. Okay. Refresh again. So as you can see, we just designed this thing in a matter of minutes. I think you are using code. This will have taken some hours to design, but with no code, it's very fast and efficient. So if you want to design this landing page, I think within an hour is okay. Within an hour is okay. So I won't go to the next one because of time. I think I will have to stop here. But let me add to what Tina said earlier. Like this bootcamp packages has a lot of things. Let me come over here and try and present. Click on let me present something to you. Let me show you something. Okay. Like this bootcamp has a lot of packages. Like there are 4 packages, which is what the bubble itself. Now, before we dive into the bubble, we must first of all touch what we call the basics, and that basic is what knowing HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Though we'll touch deeper into the coding aspects, but it's very important. You have to know the basics of what JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, because there are some applications, there are some complicated workflows that you try to invent that only JavaScript will help you to do that. So you need to know the basics of what JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And this project, and this the bootcamp is going to be a project-based bootcamp. At the end, you will be satisfied. Then there will be internship opportunities where you have to it might be a paid gigs or unpaid gigs, just like what Tina said, from foreign clients and also from local clients. Then there will be career development. This year will help you do things like organizing your LinkedIn profile, and helps to interact with stakeholders, clients, and also either a front-end dev or also other developers. It might be the UI UX designer, anybody. So we'll teach you all that. And you can see that this is an opportunity that will help you. Like some others, you can't find this kind of opportunity somewhere else. But this one now is kind of, we're making it easier for you. Like late takers kind of remove the burden. If it was with me, what I do charge my students is 300 to 350K. But late takers make things easier for you. So you don't have to sweat before you can pass through this program. Like there are a lot of opportunities. Let me just show you some of my messages on the LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn accounts. A kind of motivation that we are not yet to play. Let me show you something, please. Just give me a moment. I think it should be this. A moment. Okay. The opportunities out there is massive. Like let me show you a message I got that should be a few weeks ago. Okay. Now this is one of the opportunities I got from someone. Hello, we are looking for a senior local developer to work for a software development company. We need someone who can start immediately, duration 1 month, and this is the rates, 20 euros per hour. Now, if you calculate this, it's going to be around 4,000 to 6,000 euros just in a month. So imagine having this kind of opportunity coming your way, just to sit at home and just feel relaxed and earn your money. So I will stop here and allow Tina to conclude. Thank you very much. So before I allow Tina to conclude, is there any question I need to ask on the live demo? What you learned so far? Is there any question I need to ask?
Yes, I have a question.
Oh,
Can I ask?
yes, you can go ahead. Go ahead and ask.
All right. Thank you for the lecture, and it's very, very educative. I enjoyed every bit of it. My question is,
Okay.
first of all, if we are done with your designing, what are you expected to do for the back end? You just go to the back end column and then just run your code, and automatically you will have a live website.
Okay.
And
Let me show. Can you see my screen?
yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. Like the backend, like I told you earlier, this backend is where you do write workflows that can interact between the database and the front end. You understand?
Yes,
Yeah, so this is where
yes.
you write the workflows. Let me show you how the backends look like. Now, if you go to the backend workflows, this is the backend workflow. Right now, it is empty. No workflow attached to it. So what's the question again?
Okay, my question is now, after doing the first part, how do you now bring in the workflows from here now? How do you do the back end here now?
Okay.
Like if you want to, so that maybe like the login, the sign up page, if you click on it so that you can be able to take it to a login page or sign up page. You
Okay,
get?
okay. Now for you to do that, if you look at this line, okay, you have the login button. Okay, you have the
Yes.
login button. Now, let me show you something. For your sake, let me just design a workflow that will help you to sign users up on this platform. So let me design something. Okay. Just give me a minute. Let me look for a container. Let's say a floating group. Okay. Let me create a floating group. Okay. Now, sorry. Okay. So let me bring an input here. Okay, sorry. My mouth kind of shaking. Okay, let this be. We have the first one. The first one should be what? Email. Your email address. And the format should be what? Email. Then the second one should be what? Password. Let the format be what? Password. And let's bring this button. Let's button here. Let's place it here. Okay. Sorry. Let's change the background to white. Okay, it's already white. Now, this is a floating group. You won't see it even if you preview it. You won't see it. I do the preview.
Okay.
It's even showing. It's even showing. It's even showing. So let me hide it for now. Let me hide it. It shouldn't be visible. So it's not visible again. Let me refresh the page and show you how it looks like. So it's not visible. Now, for we to trigger that land and that floating group to appear, then do a sign up process. Then just create just one workflow. Now let's look at this login button over here. Let's look at this login button over here. Okay, sorry, sign up button. Sorry, I mean to say let's sign up button. So for we to create a workflow, now once you click on that element, come over to the what? To the property editor. Click on appearance. Now you see somewhere which is this. You see add workflow.
Yes.
Add. Can you see that? So
Yes, sir.
once you click on this add workflow, it will take you over to this place. Workflow. Let's look at it. Click on it. That's taking you over to this workflow page. Now, once you have done that, you now see the button, which is this sign up button. I can add another workflow. Let me click on this login button now. Add another workflow. You can see button login is clicked. Button sign up is clicked. Now this kind of events. So once that is done now, let's go over to the first workflow we created, which is this button sign up. Now to add a sign up, let's click on this thing now. Let's click on this to add it. So to add a workflow, let's click on this plus sign. Once you click on this plus sign, you'll see. Oh, let me shift this. You see a lot of options appearing. Now to sign a user up, you have to go to accounts. Now to create anything in the database, you have to go to what data. You can create a new team, make changes to a new team, make changes to a list of things, and also delete the things from the database. And there's a lot of also other workflows that we can do, the backend workflows also. But let's focus on what signing this user up, which we can see under this accounts. Now let's sign this user up. Click this and this will appear. Now inside this sign user up, and two options came up: the email and the password. Now this is carrying you to what? To take information from what? From an input. And we created two inputs on the editor.
Oh,
which is this.
yes.
This, which is this? This one and this one.
Yes.
Do you remember? And so that's what we did.
Yes.
Okay. So now, but what I want to do first, once you click on this button, let's edit the workflow. We're not supposed to add this workflow here. Now, what we're going to do, let's delete this thing. What we're going to do, because that's, remember this, floating group is invisible. So the first thing we're going to do is to make that group visible. Now, let's do show an elements. Once that is done, let's look for floating group, which is this one we created. That's the one we created, this floating group. Let's name it floating, floating sign up. Floating sign up. And if you go back to the workflow, you can see that the name has changed. Now let's go back to the preview and refresh the page. If you click on this button now, you'll now see that this floating group has appeared. I see
Yes.
Oh, so that's
Okay.
it. So let's create a workflow that we collect information from these inputs, from the email input and also from the password inputs, and send it to the database. Let's do that. So let's click on this particular button. Let me say, let's change this. Let me say floating. So it can be the name can be different from this first button here, from this sign up button here. So let's click this and also add a workflow to this particular elements. Click on add workflow. So now what we are going to do next, since this floating group has appeared, I want to make this sign up button functional, and which we just did. We just added a workflow. Now to add another workflow to this particular button, let's click on this button here, this plus sign. Once you click on this plus sign, the options will appear. The next place where you will go now is to what? The accounts. And inside the account, you now see sign the user up. Click on this. This workflow will appear. Now this workflow requires you to what? Requires information. And those information and the information that it requires is the email and what? The password. So now let's take information from that input on that floating group. Let me go back. Now the name of this input is what? Email input, right? Can you see me? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. The name of this input is what? Email input. And the name of this other input is what? Also called
Password.
Okay, input password. So now we want to take information from these two inputs and store it into the database. Let's go back to our workflow. Now click on this. Now search for input email. Now this is the input we created, right? Then input email's value. Now what we want is the value of that input on the floating group. Click on it. Then the next one is what? Let's look for the password inputs. Now what we will look for is what? Input password. Then we need only the value. Okay. So now this workflow now will now help us what? To sign the user up. So what we're going to do next now, let's go over to the database and see how the database looks like. Now this is for the user. This is what the default and the attribute and the data type that is being created by Bob anytime you want to create the application. Now as you can see, the user. Inside the user, we have different fields. We have email, we have notified date, we have created date, and we have sludge. This has been created by a bubble for us. Any application, any project you create, it will be created here for us by a bubble. But we can also create our own data type. But I won't go into data type because that's not what we want to go into for now. So let's look at this app. Let's go over to app data. As you can see, now this one shows you the list of what users, and there's no user currently in our database. Can you see any user?
Oh, no, 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 no.
User there. So it's empty. So now that workflow that we created will help us to create new user.
Sign up.
Yeah, to sign up new user. So let's go back. Let's refresh the page. Click on this button now. Now the floating group has what appeared. So let's type in an information. Let's say, yes, sorry, John. Do. Then email, let's say email.com. Stuff like this. Let's say sorry. This is our. Let's go over to the editor. Let's change this. Let me write something here so I can see the current user. Any user that is signed up currently. Let's look for the current user here. Current user's email. Now this is a dynamic text. Now what this one does is to show us the current user's email. Let's go back. Sign up. Come on, John Doe at gmail.com. Okay. 112233. So let's now watch here. This thing will change. Let's sign up. Are you not seeing?
Yes.
Can you see? Now, this is user that just signed up currently, and that username email is what John Doe at gmail.com. So let's go over to the database now. Let's go and see the new user in the database. I see that. Can you now see the new user?
Yes.
So this is the new user. We can add other things. We can add another user. So now for you to add another user, let's go back to the workflow. So after the workflow and the user has been added, let's reset our inputs. Let's make it empty. Now this reset relevant inputs. After, if you click on it, what it does now is to got those inputs. Can you hear me?
Okay, just got you back
Is
now.
this still on the call? Yeah, okay. So or to refresh the page. Sign up. Okay. Papa at gmail.com. 112233. Let's sign up. Now after signing up, it will now what? Will set this state of these two inputs to the previous state, which is the empty state. Now let's click on sign up. And you now see that's gone back to the previous state. The inputs are now empty. And this is our current user now. Kata@gmail.com. If you go back to the database, let's go back to the database. Can you now see the new user created?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it. So I've answered that question.
Yes, sir.
So I need
Thank
to
you
stop
so
here
much.
for Tina to take over. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody, that's all for the class. I'll be hearing from you on the WhatsApp group. All right, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you, and I will see you.
Thank you very
You
much,
can
Tina.
DM me and say whatever you want on the WhatsApp group. I'm there 24 hours. Hope you had a good time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
I know these girls, some they go, some they lucky to come outside. Why some we go now that day go, you know, say they used to do scapegoat.
Mr. Akinole.
No.